everybody? You know, they say the way to someone's heart is through their stomach, and that is oh so true. And on today's episode, I'm going to prove just that. Yep, on today's episode, I'm going to teach you guys how to make a classic dish that'll make anyone fall in love. Yes, sir. All this right here, right now on Coogs Kitchen. Hey, what's up, everybody? My name is Jose Soto, and this is Coogs Kitchen, the college survival cooking show where I teach you guys how to make a home-cooked meal away from home. On today's episode, I'm going to show you guys how to make spaghetti in 3 different ways: vegetarian, meaty, and supreme. Sounds delicious, right? And I bet you guys want to get started. So my hands are clean. Let's get started, guys. The ingredients we're going to need are a pack of spaghetti pasta, salt and pepper to taste, a few cloves of garlic, an onion, mushrooms, 2 bell peppers, 2 jars of non-meat tomato sauce, 2 tomatoes, and a pack of ground beef. Alright, so now that we have all ingredients together, let's start making this bomb dish. First thing we're going to do is I'm going to teach you guys how to make the vegetarian aspect of this dish, but before we can even mess with our ingredients, we need to take them to the kitchen and rinse them out. So let's go do that. Alrighty, so now that our vegetables have been cleaned up, let's start cutting them. I'm going to start off with the bell pepper first. What we're going to do is that we're going to take our big boy knife right here, and we're going to go to the center of it on the top, and cut down around that. Like so. And what this is this is the core that's really not edible. So now we're just going to take that, put it to the side like so, and just empty it out. Great. So now what we're going to need to do also is that you see these little white bits right here? That's the membrane of the bell pepper. So all you're just going to want to do is just take your hands and just gut it out a little bit, like so. It's not too hard. Awesome. So next, we're going to take our knife and cut it straight down the center. And then what we're going to want to do is take your bell pepper, your half, and start cutting it into little strips. Cool. And from those strips, what you're going to want to do is turn it to the side and just cube them. Nice little dice. Awesome. Cool. So then once you're done, we're just going to take our bell peppers and transfer it to a plate like so to give ourselves more room onto the cutting board. Next, we're going to work on the tomato. So what you're going to do, take your knife again, cut around the center just like the last time, just take it out. Discard it. And then what we're going to do is take our tomato and cut it in half like so. And from there, we're going to cut our tomato into strips. And what you want to do is have your hand curled and use it kind of like a guide. And also, too, it's a safe way to cut so you won't cut your fingers off. Cool. Then we're going to turn it to the side and slice it down the middle. And what you're going to do is just press it like that so you won't lose everything. And then just cut it right down in strips again. Make it into like nice little cubes. And then we're going to work on the mushrooms. So there are 2 ways you can do this. You can take a mushroom and just slice it up like so, normal. Or you can grab a mushroom, and you see this right here? This is like the stalk of it, and what you want to do is just like snap it off, like so, and then just slice them up individually. And I'm going to go ahead and move on to the onion after this. Now we take our big onion like so. What you're going to want to do is slice it right down the middle. Then lay the onion down and cut vertical slits along the onion, but not all the way so it can stay together. After, turn it around and firmly hold the onion and make horizontal slices like so. And finally, just chop down and make some nice dices. Great. And what's awesome is that all you're gonna need is this half of onion, and what you can do with the other half is you could wrap it in plastic and then just save it for another dish. All right guys, so I'm just gonna continue cutting my vegetables and I'll get right back with you when I'm done. Fantastic. Now that everything's chopped up, let's go take this to the kitchen and get things cooking. All right, ladies and gentlemen, so before we start cooking our ingredients, what I'm gonna do is prep the water for our pot so we can start doing a little bit of multitasking and get our pasta ready for the dish. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my pot and bring it to the sink and fill it up to about 3/4 of the way full with warm water. Then, when your pot is ready, turn the sink off and place it on the stove while turning the heat on high. Then, to help prevent your pasta from sticking, take your salt and give it a healthy sprinkle into the water like so. Alright guys, so while we wait for the water to boil, let's start making the sauce. Here are the 3 ways on how to make it. For the vegetarian way, cut a piece of butter into the pan and move it around on the surface. Then add your vegetables. For the meat way, just dump that bad boy right into the pan. But for this episode, we're going to be making the spaghetti sauce the supreme way, which is mixing the meat and the vegetables together. Oh, it's going to be amazing. So I'm going to start off with cooking the ground beef first. And the reason why I'm doing so is because this takes longer to cook. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cook this first, then add the veggies once this is like halfway through. So they can all cook nice and evenly and nothing gets overcooked or undercooked. It's great. So what I'm going to do is I have the heat turned on to very low so the meat won't stick. And I'm just going to carefully just get the meat, place it on there like so. And that nice little sizzle means the pan is ready. Then take your spoon and start breaking up the ground beef. And if you're looking for a healthier option, you can definitely choose to buy a leaner ground beef, or you can substitute with turkey meat, or even shrimp, whatever your heart desires. Then add your salt, some pepper, and some of that minced garlic, which is totally optional. Then give it all a nice mix. Okay guys, so after a while when the beef is halfway cooked, it's going to be like half pinkish, half brown, and that's where we're going to add the vegetables. But Jose, how come we're not draining the meat? Well see, that's the beauty of it, is that with these vegetables, they're going to soak up all the fat, and that's why, we're not adding butter or anything to it. So let's go ahead and add these beautiful vegetables. Great, so now what you're going to want to do, reposition your pan, and with your spoon, just stir everything up together. Then, add a little more salt, a little bit of that pepper, and cover it up so it can cook. And if you want it to cook faster, crank up the heat. Awesome. So while that simmers, the pot has already been boiling, so let's add the pasta now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to just lower the heat, like about medium ways, and now I'm going to take our pasta, and a good trick to do is just take the pasta on top of a corner, and just break it all up halfway like so. Sexier than 4th of July. Alright, then we're going to carefully take our pasta, and just add it to the water like so. Awesome. And now you're just going to let this boil for about 9 minutes and the pasta should be ready. And make sure you lower the temperature just a little bit, and do not forget to stir the pasta occasionally. Alright, so it's been 9 minutes, so I'm going to turn the heat off of the pot. And now before I drain the pasta, I'm just going to give it a test to see how it tastes. So I'm just going to grab one strand like so. Perfect. It's al dente, which means sensitive to the teeth. Great. All right, so now we're gonna take this pot and drain it to the sink. And if you don't have a drainer or a sieve, just take the top and place it on the pot like so, leaving it slightly cracked. Then, grab both sides and take it to the sink. There, tilt your pot and let the water drain. And don't be afraid to lose a couple of noodles, because it will happen. Sweet, so now that the pasta's done, let's finish our sauce. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna get my dish towel, take the lid off the pan, and then just let it drain. Because all that steam is gonna produce a lot of water, and you don't want to move that around and have it splutter all over, because it creates a huge mess. And oh my God, it's like a cloud of flavor. And I'm just gonna put the lid on the side. And all these vegetables are transparent. They marry together. It's beautiful. All right, so now what we're gonna do now is add the tomato sauce. Now, all I have is I just have normal traditional sauce, non-meat. Because if you're a vegetarian and you wish to, have no meat in it, this is a sauce for you. And if you wish to make your own, go for it. Just use whatever recipe you like. I'm not stopping you. All right, so now I'm just gonna open the jar. Just pour all that beautiful sauce like so. Take our second jar. And like the first jar, pour it all out into the pan. And try to get every last drop you can get. And set the jar aside, grab your spoon, and mix that beautiful concoction all together. Oh yeah, it's pretty great. Alrighty, awesome. So when the sauce is done, all you're gonna want to do is just turn the heat off. And let's start plating this bad boy. I'm gonna get a nice spoonful of pasta. And nice spoonful of this sauce right on top like so. And if you want to, you can definitely top it with any type of cheese you want or any type of herb, whatever your heart desires. Now, let's give this a taste. Mamma mia, that's good. Awesome. Hey, but don't take my word for it. Let's take it to the couple.
I'm so glad I found this place. It's got a really small town feel.
Yeah,
Weird romantic.
I'm really excited to try the food.
It's supposed to be great. It's got great reviews.
Does it? Well, I guess we'll have to see, huh?
Alrighty, here you go, sir.
Fantastic.
Here you go, ma'am.
It looks great.
Bon appetit. So, what do y'all think?
It's delicious.
It's really good.
Awesome. So I gotta ask, would y'all believe me if this was made in a college kitchen dorm?
Really?
No way.
Yeah, man, anyone can do it. It's pretty awesome.
Tastes really great.
Yep,
Awesome. I'll have to try it sometime.
you have to.
So,
Yeah. Sorry. Well, ladies and gentlemen, you heard it. This dish was sure one way to my heart, and hopefully it's one way to yours. Well, that's all the time I have for today. Just remember, if a simple college student can make a home-cooked meal like this away from home, then so can you. Go Coogs!